You. Joe Biden is pushing to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. That may help some of the people who get raised wages. It will definitely hurt others. According to the Congressional Budget Office, a $15 minimum wage would eliminate almost 1.5 million jobs and increase the federal deficit dramatically. Neil Patel has thought a lot about this topic. He wrote a column about it for the Boston Herald. He's the publisher of the Daily Caller. He joins us tonight to assess. Neil, thanks a lot for coming on. So economic arguments aside, it does seem like the minimum wage is popular in general with the public, and this is likely to happen given who controls Congress. Given that, what's the wise way, do you think, to raise the minimum wage?
Tucker, thanks for having me. If you're going to have a minimum wage, it doesn't make any sense to have it the same in every location in America. It costs more than twice as much to live in Manhattan as it does in a small town in Kansas, and there's no earthly reason both those places should have the same minimum wage. Similarly, it doesn't make any sense to have the same minimum wage for huge multinational companies with thousands of employees and billions of dollars in profits as it does for, say, the deli on the corner of your block at home. The deli owner's probably working in his own store. He may want a few hours off in the afternoon and bring in a high school kid. The concept of the left's concept of a livable wage, I think it's much easier to apply that to a Walmart or a Target than it is to the deli guy, and yet we don't. We have one minimum wage applying in every place for every business. It makes zero sense.
Could it have something to do with who donates to which political party? I mean, it seems like some of these big businesses would actually be in favor of a higher minimum wage if they thought it would drive their competitors out of business.
So the huge multinational companies that dominate Washington and these policy debates are actually mostly for the minimum wage increase. The retailers, the big retailers like Target, Walmart, Amazon, they're definitely in for it. They're publicly in favor of it. And it's because it crushes their small business competitors. They can afford it. They're already mostly paying a $15 an hour wage. And they know that the ones they compete with, these small town businesses, can't afford it. So that's another reason why, why doesn't Washington call their bluff? How about $20 or more on huge multinationals, but 10 or less on the small business in the corner?
I mean, this is pretty much the last thing after a year of COVID and riots that small businesses need right now, is it not?
It's the last thing small businesses need. It's the last thing our country needs. I don't know if you saw the stats today. 60% of the people involved in the Capitol Hill riots had gone through extreme economic hardship recently, meaning bankruptcies, massive credit, layoffs. So the problems we're having in our economy, especially in the small business sector, where small businesses just lost 30% of their revenue this year, and 30% of all small businesses just closed down. Washington needs to start looking at this and coming up with more innovative policies than ones that only are aligned with the big business agenda.
It's such a smart point that I've heard from nobody else. $30 minimum wage for Amazon warehouse workers. No minimum wage for the dry cleaner on your block. I love that. Neil Patel, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you.